not to fully change it because it still goes into the idea of like shows and stuff, but since the last time we've talked, I've watched the musical Twisted with Helen.
Oh, right. You were saying you wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
This should be interesting because I showed it to some friends of mine, and they didn't like it, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm curious what your take is.
I had mixed feelings. So like there are things in there that I really liked. Like I think that like the guy that like played. So I guess like anybody who doesn't know, Twisted is kind of like one of those like I don't know if I want to say like villain because it's not really villain redemption. It's like villain
It's like hero, protagonist, antagonist role swap kind of thing.
Yeah. It's
It's a musical based on Aladdin, but Aladdin's
it's like
sucks, and Jafar is like a hero character.
Oh, I mean, it's basically Wicked, but with
Aladdin.
It's Wicked with Aladdin, but it lampoons Disney and the villain.
Yeah, I like I think it does a lot with it uses that whole concept as a jumping off point to talk, I guess, to lampoon Disney, but also like to make a lot of like political commentary and stuff.
I would say not just like political commentary, but like just lampooning that idea of the villain rehabilitate, like how like because it's not just the Disney thing, but like there's like in the modern like in the past like 20 like maybe like 10 15 years there's been an uptick in like reinterpretations of media where it's like, oh, this is actually the true story of what happened, and the villain was actually a good guy, and they were just misunderstood.
Right.
Which, all in all, is a genre that I think is fun. And I don't necessarily dislike that it lampooned the idea of the villain redemption story.
I'm not even sure I see that. Like, how is it a lampooning of that concept? I thought they kind of played it pretty straight.
I don't know if lampoons or like sad. Like, I mean, I feel like it lampoons like the whole like the main song of the show is literally like a song about villain stories being twisted.
Oh, yeah, true.
And then like the whole like start of the show is like, and then like the whole like start of the show is just poking fun at like, oh, everybody just hates Jafar. And like there's a running joke that's like, it's all your fault, Jafar. Like even like when it like doesn't like necessarily like I don't know. I'm not saying that like as a criticism, just like stating as like kind of like more matter of fact that like the show just kind of like plays around the idea with poking fun at the
Sure. I feel like to me, if anything's being lampooned, it's more like the did this guy just fall?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
That sucks.
I've only got 4 left. Okay, that was.
It was like they're more lampooning like the kind of the attitude of the sort of hero characters or whatever, or like of like childish dreaming or whatever without like.
I mean,
practicality.
Yes-ish. I think, and this is actually where I kind of go into what my criticisms of the show were. Because maybe like meta isn't lampoon is the right word. I'd say like more so that like it's overly meta, at least in terms of like what it's like commenting on or like when it's lampooning. Because like I mean, to lampoon is to inherently like kind of be meta in a sense. But like
yeah, no, it's definitely
like,
a meta show.
Yeah, because like, and me like I'm a fan of meta. I'm a fan of like looking at things like a metatextual analysis. But I kind of feel like a lot of like some of like the really good stuff in there gets overshadowed. Like I'd say like overshadowed. Like there's a tonal dissonance with some of like I feel like the commentary it wants to have about like dreams and like the more like either like heartwarming or Like,
no, it's got a lot. It has a lot of sincerity and like actual like, has a lot of things it genuinely wants to say about a lot of important issues or aspects of humanity. But also, it's like, it has this, what's the word? I guess kind of an immature or sort of childish glee at just like, saying silly things and parodying the. You know, the source material and stuff. Like, I could see that as a disconnect. I kind of see it as, it's interesting that it is kind of both. I like that it's kind of like, it's silly in a way that I think is kind of boyish, or like, I associate more with like when I was a teenager or something, but then it also gives a shit. I find that an interesting combination. But like, it's kind of difficult for me to judge properly anymore, because like, prior to introducing it to my friends, I gave it a bit of a rewatch, and like, there's definitely aspects of the show that like I really connected with when I was younger, and I don't so much anymore. So yeah, I'm pretty open to whatever opinions people have on it.
Yeah.
But to me, that's kind of charming. You'll find that like it's a quality in a lot of the work by StarKid, the people who made this show, that like there's often a mix of like, yeah, being really sincere, but also like being really dumb at the same time. I would say that like the balance in Twisted is like a bit, it's not perfect. Like, I think a lot of their shows are narratively messy. And it's kind of, what the fuck is that?
I'm absolutely terrified.
I think their most recent show is, or some of their more recent shows are a bit tighter in that respect, but, yeah. I will say, like, one thing that I find... I thought that was going to be, like, a straight-up...
super easy. Holy shit.
You're just too epic, dude.
You just had to freeze that bitch.
I'll just say one thing that I think is, that I find interesting going back to, Twisted, is like just the way they treat the character of Aladdin in general. Like, it obviously Aladdin in the show is like, he is he's cruel, he's a manipulative, he like
well, spoilers.
One of the first songs in the show is about how he's a fucking asshole. But like, it's funny that like, for all the things that he does, like, sometimes it feels like the show is above all else is most critical of him for not contributing to like capitalism or something, or it's like, he's like a slacker. It's like, well, also he like abuses women and like, I don't like, he's like comically evil, but the show seems more concerned with like his relationship to society and order or whatever, which kind of makes sense because of the general like political vibe and the musings on society. But like, it's one of those things where the mix is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like specifically not contributing in capitalism, and it's like more to do with like what you contribute to society. So like Jafar, like as a character, like he's someone that like contributes and sacrifices everything for society, like because that's the right thing to do. Like he loses so much and sacrifices so much, and then he gets rewarded at the end because he stayed noble to his, like, true to himself till the very end. Whereas someone like Aladdin only like took from society. Like, he was like kind of like pure.
Right. I guess that's the thing, right? Like, I think the point that the musical's probably trying to make about him is that like he's a thief, right? Like, he just takes without giving, and so like it's like, yeah, he doesn't. It's not just that he's like unemployed or whatever, although that is like one of the ways they express that. But it's like he doesn't contribute. He just kind of like nihilistically takes from everything.
Yeah, he's just kind of like a nihilistic leech in a sense. And
Yeah.
you can kind of see that like with some of the other like characters that like are kind of viewed as like, it's like where like the king character is just like, he's like framed as like kind of just what's the like he's only like interested in like in base pleasures and doesn't care about anything else.
Well, he's like the extremely like disconnected like person with so much riches and power that like they actually just don't give a fuck about the people they're supposed to rule. It's a show that is like it's so I don't know. I still really like the show because like I love the mix of like genuinely caring about the world, but also like the kind of the conflict of that with the cynicism of like, oh, but the world sucks and like people like don't do their responsibility to make the world a better place all the time, and like the system's broken and all that stuff. Like there's kind of like to get a bit Danganronpa about it, there's like a push and pull between hope and despair, right? Like and like there's like, you know, there's Jasmine's hope that is like kind of childish and without any practicality, and like the same hope that all the townspeople have of like, but they just want things to get better with no being constructive. But then there's Jafar, who's like genuinely tried his best to be constructive and found that like he still failed by the all the systems to the point where he has completely lost hope. And so like that kind of innocent, youthful hope in the end is kind of what's needed to save the day. I don't know. I think there's a lot going on. Like it's easy for me to think about the themes and explore them, and I despite the fact that the show is like really messy and silly and they spend too long on like dumb gags and stuff, but like I don't know. I think they were cooking. I don't know.
I definitely
think it came out a little burnt, like or like undercooked in a few areas.
Well, and I think, you know, well, I think that kind of goes back to like an idea of like I don't know if this is just like I'm trying to think of the right way to put this, because like I like, don't get me wrong, like I liked both things it was going for. I just kind of wished to either like transition between like either like merge them a bit more, or like just had two completely different shows.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's a bit all over the place. I mean, for me, I think I like the idea of the mix, because I think for me, laughing at the characters and the jokes and stuff, like it helped me care about them, because like for me, like laughter is a great way to get emotionally invested in a character. I think for me, like the biggest issues are like sometimes the cynical humor actually does the opposite. Like with like one criticism that my friends had that I think is a really good criticism is that like there's the emotional climax of the story relies on like Jasmine basically, and with that, like I'm talking about how like her kind of childish hope is kind of what's needed alongside real power to like change the world, but like she has almost no redeemable traits until like the end game.
Yes,
because like
100% of it.
She's a completely. It's not just that she's you know, clueless.
Oh god, it's this bastard.
Oh fuck. She is completely airheaded and completely stupid. And because they thought it would be a fun, edgy joke if like, you know, they kind of make fun of her for the whole in that kind of SJW kind of way, but like it's she's not like likable. So yeah, stuff like that. That's a pretty simple mistake that I think fucks up the story.
But I'd say like
that.
I'd say like more so like it's not really, for me it's not really even a matter of like silliness or no silliness. Like it's the type of silliness. So like I think a lot of the characterization and like a lot of the charm like and sincerity is undercut by the meta stuff. Like specifically like the commentary on like having like like the Disney stuff or whatnot. Like I think you can have that sort of commentary, but then like actually like being like, oh, like we're like actually like Disney or whatever, kind of like creates a weird sense of like it pulls you out of the like it kind of like pulls you out, like it's over like pulls you out of the characters in the story that
well, because again like it's I guess rather than about it being about silliness. The problem is that like it's kind of snarky in a way that's like makes I just believe in the characters and the story that they're presenting to you. Like there are aspects of the text I think they're too snarky, too like isn't this stupid, and it doesn't play that nicely with the parts of the show that are really openly emotional or sweet or tragic or whatever. Because like I think there are parts of the show where like it's supposed to hit emotionally, and I think they absolutely nailed it. My friends thought that the humor in general was too obnoxious, and so they didn't really connect with the show at all. But like for me, like because I did enjoy the humor, there's like that string of songs like at the end of the first act where we kind of see Jafar's past, where like he like before he's you know being chewed up and spit out by the system, and then we see him like come face to face with like a tragic, like a shitty political system. Then he like falls in love, and then he loses the love. And like
that was great, yeah.
That whole sequence of the show, like that set of scenes and songs, I think is the best part. Where like when he has like the song where he's like kind of clutching the trinket or whatever that's supposed to be like half of the key to like you know to the place that has the magic lamp, where he's like he doesn't believe in anything other than science and reason and logic, but like emotionally he still like wants to believe in something because you know he wants his lover back, and she believed in stuff like that. I don't know, there's just it's treated with such sincerity, and there's like no jokes, and it's just really like a powerful and tragic like performance. And I'm like,
no, absolutely.
But that's in the same show that's like lol fucking Disney stupid.
But it's stuff like that like works with some of the silly stuff like Jafar being the butt of many jokes, and like that running joke, if it's all your fart Jafar, like that all works great because it's all connected back to Jafar as a character and his arc.
Yes.
Where when you have like this whole like sub-villain group of people that are like, oh, we're just like we're an analog of Pixar, and we're gonna have a silly song about like how like our leader was like no
one remembers Ahmed.
Yeah,
he's a bit less like, I mean he's fun, that character, but he's also like more of a plot device or something. Like because like Jafar has a lot of humor, but it's based on his character, and he's a pretty well-rounded and believable character. While like the jokes about say Jasmine and like all the writing about her is mostly just like ridiculing and going for easy laughs. She's not like a proper developed character.
Yeah, it's like it's like I would have liked to see more with like remove like the stuff with Ahmed, like him being like at the start and being at the end could have just been like fine. Like we didn't need to have like this, because like the stuff that they did add with him didn't really add anything else. Like
it's just hard because like I like this show too much, so even though I'm like it's really flawed, I'm also like don't touch that. I like that bit, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I have things I'm like with like that too. Like and dude, like it's and like
there's so many good bits. There's this after my friends were telling me like we didn't think it was very funny. Like afterwards, I was just sitting alone in my room. I was just thinking about the bit. He's like, "Do not feed me a shit and call it couscous, Jafar." And I'm like, that's fucking amazing. Bro, I don't know if that contributes to the story though.
Nah.
But
I don't know.
Yeah, that guy's just a good presence, that actor.
Like, but like, if I like the way that like I would put it, like it's like I don't necessarily think like he needs to be like completely removed. It's just I feel like his utilage wasn't great. Like.
Yeah. No, you'll find that if you watch StarKid shows, you'll probably find problems like that often. Like there's often a lot going on thematically and narratively and like charm-wise that's really good, but like it's just not quite tight. It's not all like perfectly balanced. And if you're a big fan of just the general vibe and personality of the shows, then like that will kind of carry you through it. But otherwise, it's a bit rough. I do think that their most recent show, Nerdy Prudes Must Die, is probably their best, like, their tightest show, where like it flows well, the characters are good, the story's good. But at the same time, I think the kind of thematic political commentary and all that stuff that they were attempting to do with Twisted and some of their other shows is like more interesting. Yeah. It's like it has a greater potential.
I see that. Yeah, I don't know if like I have like much more, because like as like I know I'm coming off as like crow. Like I think I'm as critical as I am of it because I did enjoy it. Like I would.
Yeah, no, I'm. Sorry, go on.
It's like I think if I wasn't enjoying it, it would be. Oh crap! Where are my boys?
Where are my children gone? I was too busy talking about musicals.
They're stuck down here.
Yeah, no, I don't think that you're coming off as overly negative. Yeah. I like talking about this stuff. I mean, I really like the show. So like, and I don't know many people who have watched it. And like when I talk to my friends about it, the issue, like, I couldn't really get into it as much because like they didn't like the show really very much at all, or like it was mostly a kind of negative experience for them. So it's like any talk about the deeper themes is kind of moot. Man, those things have some great lips.
I don't know if I want to do this. I mean, I can do it.
This show is so specific. It's like the Whose Line Is It Anyway and Twisted discussion podcast.
Yeah.
But that's chill.
But like, fuck, we like arts stuffs. Like we're into like the performative arts. Like I'll actually be real. Like I'm actually not the biggest fan of musicals. That's like, which probably sounds a bit weird, because like I like musicals, but like there's not a lot of musicals I like.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think that was also part of what was happening with my friends, is that like they've enjoyed musicals, but they generally like the ones that they've liked are like the best of the best, like extremely like considered like the masterpieces or whatever. You know, like I'll enjoy a musical that's okay just because I like musicals. And like when I get into a musical, like I listen to the soundtrack like over and over for like weeks. It's just like kind of one of my interests. I've listened to like all the songs in Twisted like a lot. I also have like a real love for like comedic music as well. Like I'm a huge fan of like Ninja Sex Party and stuff like that.
This is a bad time.
This is a bloodbath.
I should have just gone for it. I should have just gone for it.
Get him. Yeah.
What I would say for me, like, this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but I think my biggest problem with a lot of musicals is just like a lot of the music just ends up feeling like a waste of time.
I guess it depends on the show, cause like I mean, oh, go on.
I mean, like if something like is like supposed to be just like a pure silly show, then like I can totally get down for just like songs that aren't trying to be anything more than just silly.
Well, but, like ideally the plot should advance, or the theme should advance, or whatever in any given song. I mean the kind of common adage or whatever is like, when the emotions are getting too intense for regular dialogue and scenes, that's when you start to sing. And ideally stuff like that should be connected to progressing the story. But like, yeah, I guess I'm happy just to exist in the world of a musical. So like, yeah, if a song is not like incredibly crucial, like I'm probably still going to enjoy it, you know? It's not gonna bother me too much.
No, I think that's like where I kind of got like a bit like frustrated with a song like Everyone Forgets About Ahmed. Like, yeah,
like, cause for me that's a fun like diversion from like the plot having gotten kind of heavy for a little bit. And it's just funny. Like I'm there for just the enjoyment of that. But
and I will say that it's probably one of the better examples of just like a silly song for the sake of being silly, because the jokes in it did land. Like I think it would have been better if like if there was something more going on than just like the characters just kind of like standing around and talking about shit. Like I don't know, like
is that a puzzle piece?
Yeah, that's a puzzle piece.
Is that a cat? What is it of?
I don't know, but I imagine we might find out at some point.
I hope so. I love how those bars just don't matter because everyone's tiny. That's a fun little touch. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other musicals I like and if they're really tight or not. Yeah, I don't mind a small diversion. One song, okay, another StarKid musical. The one StarKid musical I think is really tight, and has no filler because it's really short. Is a VHS Christmas Carol. It's just a Christmas Carol, and it's like, fuck, how long is it, like 30 minutes or something? There's no like dialogue scenes in between. Like the entire story is just told through songs. And it, yeah, I don't think there's any like diversions or anything. It's that shows. That's actually how I introduced my friends to that show first. They just like, yeah, they still weren't that into it, but like they were much less critical than what Tia said. They were like, that was alright. But I think again, oh, what the fuck is that? That's wonderful.
These are just PUBG.
PUBG?
Player unknown.
Bro, I think that's player unknown.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I like musicals. But I think I'm pretty much like done trying to introduce that group of friends to musicals I like, unless they're because like it is fun to share things with people where like it's like, oh, I haven't tried that normally, but like there are certain types of things that I like, or I just know that like I'm just not really, there's not that much compatibility, and I'll just get the same kind of response every time.
Something
if
like
I keep
musicals,
trying to recommend them StarKid shows.
Something like musicals also like I feel like have such like a unique end to them, because it's like you both kind of have to be into like stage performances, and like I don't necessarily say being into music isn't quite the right idea, but
yeah, because I mean my friends are definitely hugely into music. There's just something specific about the energy of a musical where like I just adore it as a form, you know? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like I don't play like shooting games very often, right?
yeah.
It's probably unlikely that like some random like forgotten Xbox 360 shooter game is going to really appeal to me. Like I'm probably only going to play like fucking like I'll try out something if it's like really revered and like people I know are really into it. Like I really enjoyed Helldivers 2, right? But like I'm sure there are hundreds of like similar-ish games on Steam where like it would still have to do a lot to win me over. But if I were just like a fan of shooter games, anything that kind of looks like a shooter game is still like gonna have a base appeal to me. Because I'm like that with fighting games. Like I'll play pretty much any fighting game, and obviously there are ones I think are better than others. But like
this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea.
That thing is terrifying. Have you seen his eyes? You got it. I think you're killing it today, honestly.
Oh god. I mean, this episode's already gone over length. It's probably about to be split, but if we're gonna count that as killing it, because I definitely did not plan through this day very well. No, I beat a stage. I beat one other stage. I killed a boss. I think that counts as progress.
Not super Dandory of you, but yeah, no, we're getting there.
I mean, like the reason why I like musicals is I resonate a lot with very like emotional, performative singing. Like a lot of the time, like with music, like the things like I'll resonate more with is like the vibes of the performance, maybe even more so necessarily than the composition of the song.
Yeah, and, like, no, I mean, there's nothing like a really great performance.
And I guess like, that's also kind of like why I like songs that are related to media, whether like soundtracks and whatnot, because like you can have like a track that is elevated by the context of the scene that you're saying.
It's one of the things I think is really cool about art is that like I don't know, there's the thing itself, and then there's like selling the thing and or like executing the thing. And often art has to rely on other kinds of art to help sell it or like give it its meaning. I don't know. Like you know, making video games, my artwork is only going to matter if like the writing is also on point, and if the music's also on point.
Fuck.
What the hell is that? Does that thing have nipples?
Oh, fuck.
Ah!
Oh no, it's like a mother frickin'. Oh no! Oh fuck.
My god.
Guys, get the fuck out of there! Get the fuck out of here!
I don't know if we can survive this. What the fuck?
Oh, the rock guys I think can survive this.
Oh, because they're heavy. Okay, halfway-ish. Fuck, man. Oh my god.
Oh, there we go, we got. Oh. The boss, like, the enemy design in this game is, like, insane.
They're weirdly, like, scary. I forgot you have a dog.
Yeah. And he's got, like, 30 grab now. When I got these extra things up here. Ooh, look at these chips. Oh god, and this goes deeper.
Yum.
Jesus fudge.
Damn, yeah. This has been a long in-game day, I think.
Yeah, we've really like min-maxed this day.
These Pikmin gotta like, they need some sleep, man.